Well, with any luck, we should be live now. I'm hoping.
Waiting for the ad to wrap up so I can confirm that for you.
I am. I cleared my browser right before we started, so of course I can't even log into Twitch myself just yet.
You're good to go.
Oh, we're good.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay.
I heard both you and
There we
Chuck,
go.
so you're good.
All right, I'm just going to assume the YouTube screen is going as well. I'm Ucast these days because I'm fancy like that.
So
now.
fancy.
I know. Technology is awesome. It just bleeds you of money like constantly, but it's awesome. Speaking of things that bleed you, Shadowrun tonight. We are using the Champions Now system because Shadowrun is also awesome, but the Shadowrun is not awesome system-wise. So we've been playing it in various different ways. Right now, Champions Now, which is a form of the Champions Hero system. But tonight we have playing Scout. Not the best Scout, the Scout that you have. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Steven, and I am playing Scout. I'm an orc ex-cop. I'm the moral compass of the group, de facto leader, kind of the face of the group. I'm the ties that bind, you could say.
Yes. And biting your tongue so hard is Kaylee, played by
Jake of the Defenders of Kobold. I will be playing Kaylee, who is a ghoulism-stricken elf who also doubles as a Decker, known as Aztec Sucks, also known as a digital rocker girl, K-Lava, and the Tectonics. She has been trying to be good with her diet, trying to eat a lot of synthetic meat, but oh gosh, these chemicals are just deteriorating her form, and so she has to eat raw meat to just stay alive. It's just an awful situation.
Terrible.
But she does what she can.
Terrible that you're forced to do such things. You need to wipe the drool. You just there on the corner, just a little bit. Playing Ivan.
Oh, that is me, comrade. I am playing Ivan, your magic, casty man. I have more than one spell, more than 3 spells. I have enough to do the job. And I am very glad to see Ganto again because I make rash decisions.
All right. And Gantu, who's been off negotiating a deal for franchising his bowling alley, which has just been really hot. And he's coming back with no solid yeses, but very positive maybes.
I got a lot of interested nods and hurry along. So I feel very optimistic that Rock and Bowl is going to go national. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Yeah. I'm sure nothing bad's happened while I've been gone. I'm sure Ivan is was his number one employee has made good decisions and everything's fine. We're not in trouble or anything like that, and everything's just sort of par for the course. Just good to go.
Just whatever Masu tells you, ignore it. It's not true. All lies.
Yep, no problem. Okay, yeah. Who?
Oh,
sorry.
That would be me, honorable sir. I have been here through many death-defying feats, and have been interesting stories from my cultural exchange that are not full of horror and of people being eaten and buildings being burned.
It's really specific. It's a really specific thing. Yeah.
Yes, okay. I have had really specific events, like trying to shoot down a helicopter that is full of magical poison that would potentially irradiate our entire city.
Right. Okay. Is he been getting into Ivan's special pills? Like what's happened?
Oh, hallucinogens. Absolutely fine, sir. Many hallucinogens have been taken.
Okay. Well, that makes perfect sense. And okay, everything seems fine. Nothing to be worried
This
about.
is what Gantu is greeted with when he comes back in wearing the best business suit that he could have tailored for him, but it still has the bowling pattern on it
Oh,
because it's your brand.
It is. And
It's
the
your brand.
rhinestones. Beautiful.
Exactly.
That look great.
Everyone is looking a little actually under the weather. Ivan is very pale and his nose is running. Kaylee, she's normally very pale, but even more so now. I mean, she's practically translucent. Scout is I forget. The Scout did get infected, right?
I did get infected.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I
Scout
think I was like
looks
beginning stages,
miserable. Yeah, like
maybe late stages.
there's green stuff leaking out of him. Just his nose, his ears. He's just kind of. He looks like he's half aware of what's going on. You guys, the team.
But I would
after-
just like to interject, GM, all wise God. Masu looks just like a fresh freaking daisy. Like he has had no problems whatsoever.
somehow in the last 15 minutes he even managed to press his robes. Who knows how. Yeah, your team just got back in from the events of last session, so you stopped the thing. You found out information about a political, a presidential hopeful, his stadium address. That stadium is in your city, by the way. Is likely going to be the target of more of the stuff being released. Let's not forget you did a drive-by and dropped Techno G's maybe still living body off at a hospital nearby.
Yeah, I know that guy. Yeah, all right.
I would just like to interfere once again, GM. He was still living when we threw him out of the car, and we had a sticky note taped to his chest that said, horrifically infected, also millionaire. Please take care of.
Yes.
Yeah, that ought to work. Yeah. Okay.
So, Lord Gantu, would you like a quick summary of our previous events?
Well, sure. Yeah, sure. Get a little debrief going on. Yeah, okay.
Before you start there, though, Nick, because Nick has been doing free slave labor around, the bowling alleys actually never looked sharper.
Yeah, all right. Well, y'all look y'all look terrible, but this place looks just fine. Just fine indeed. So whatever you've been doing, keep it up.
Yes, we will indeed. It is a pleasure to know that we have pleased you, Lord Gantu, and any blessings that you can bring upon us as your humble and wise servants would be dearly appreciated. Especially them. They need better education, Lord Gantu.
Oh my God,
perhaps an education, perhaps they could go to kindergarten school.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I didn't hire none of them for their brains or their intelligences. I mean, they all have special skills,
You would have been cheated had you hired them for their intelligence.
And plus, they're just, they're fun to have around. They're good folk, even Scout.
So
I think I need to see a doctor.
I have been told the word good means useful or valuable. Does that word not have that context?
Well, it's a spectrum.
Okay. Oh, the more that I know of your fine country and its incredible penchant for violence. So, hello, everyone. My name is Nick /Logos, and I will be playing Masu, the friendly exchange student from China, here to learn the ways of the American soul, of whom Ivan seems to especially represent in Masu's mind now. He is a mage, and he is more focused on the mental aspects, which has sadly been out of place in this party thus far. Anyways, Lord Gantu, what we have found was Master Ivan had received a message from one Techno G, who was apparently a friend who had apparently ran into some troubles We had rushed over to his apartment to find that he had passed out after some thievery. He had apparently stolen some chemicals that originated at a Harshorn manufacturing plant. These chemicals apparently were highly infectious. While we were seeking this information, myself, Lord Ivan, and one cannibal were attacked by tricked out street samurai and thoroughly defeated. The chemicals were whisked away, and we were lucky to escape with our lives. They got into a black helicopter and fled the immediate scene. We managed to put a tracker on their helicopter and track them down to the old Hoshorn chemical manufacturing plant. We also found that the Hoshorn chemical manufacturers were sued out of existence by one Vogel, who is apparently what I believe they call a tree hugger. Terra First organization I have written. Anyways, so we proceed to go to the old rundown Hoshorn chemical plant, at which point in time we pick up the worst scout, the second best scout. The second best scout. We go there and we find it is in an area significantly more rundown than the area that you have currently put your bowling alley, which is somewhat surprising that such a thing could exist. And there were some 2 toxic spirits. As a note, Lord Gantu, if you have an opportunity to talk to a toxic spirit, they are out of their freaking mind and do not enjoy the common verbal language, much like Ivan.
Interject for a second.
Yes.
Jeff, can you roll me a percentile dice and just say high or low before you roll it?
Sure. I'll do high. Here you go. 94.
Okay. That's as high as
you, Masu.
Yes, absolutely. The toxic spirits attacked and beat the living hell out of us. It was quite impressive how much we got absolutely destroyed by them, but nonetheless, we managed to defeat them, I believe, mostly by Ivan being horrifically violent, plus Ivan. At which point in time, after we defeated them, we managed to gain access to the Hoshorn chemical place, and ultimately, we found the evil man's lair. He was apparently a druid of some kind, and we found out that Hoshorn Chemical was destroyed pretty much in a terrorist attack by the Terra First organization. They destroyed the manufacturing building, and then all the Terra First personnel were reportedly killed. And there were campaign posters for Vogel, who was part of this, who represented the Terra First organization as a lawyer. I believe he's a dwarf. Is that the appropriate term to use, Lord Ivan? Or is that heightist?
He's a dwarf. That is, I mean...
Oh. Yes. I have been told that, pimply greenskin is not the appropriate term to use for orc after Lord Scout.
Yes, that is the offensive way to refer to an orc.
Okay. Yes. Well, the more you know, the more you learn.
I really think I might be dying, guys.
You're fine.
Yes, I have requested that we help this, but nonetheless, so there is a big rally for Vogel on Wednesday. And it was largely circled in the madman's laboratory, thus signaling perhaps there might be a terrorist attack at this time. I do not know how much we are good citizens, although, Lord Gantu, you just simply said all the people here were good, so I guess we should do something about that. Also, your team appears to be dying, and somehow I appear to be mostly immune. I think it is the fact that it is attacking the negative karma they have accrued.
Right. So anyway, Ivan, how much are we getting paid for this this venture? And who's paid us for this again?
No, we're not actually getting paid anything. This is rescue mission to recover Techno G.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So he'll pay us later then.
Probably, yes. That's my bet.
One way or
that
the
after
other.
we save him, yeah.
I can
Or,
hold it over his head, for a while.
Definitely, you can. But yeah,
Assuming we can cure him and perhaps even Ivan himself. He's not feeling too well, probably due to the chemicals that's affected Techno G.
Yeah, I think Scout might be dying as I look. Yeah, he looks worse.
I really am.
It seems to be not so bad for humans. So, Ganto, you might just stand back just a little bit.
During this whole thing, like Masu has just been like spit taking on you, and the rest of them are just kind of huddled around you.
Yeah, anyway, it's a rescue mission. So, I mean, we've been trying to hunt down the cure for this plague now so we can be not dying and then not die Techno and then have Techno back and make him pay us money.
Now, we did find that there was an expert in this chemical who was running around that we might be able to utilize in order to help cure our benighted team members, sir. I will ping you when you're PDA with that information.
Do we need to get Scout some help though first? Like, is he literally on the verge of death? Because that could be a bit of
a mess. Agreed.
I feel like I died 10 minutes ago.
Well, worst has happened. Maybe we should help out Scout a little bit.
Perhaps you know one of those underground cutters who are familiar with biotechnical side and would be able to treat him and yet be safe themselves.
While you're saying that, I'm over there getting a post-it note. Please help. Infected has money. Get the safety pin.
See, corpse dumped in front of house. Yes, Lord Gantu, do you know any of the more shady people in this town? Ivan appears to have murdered all the ones that he last knew. And Kaylee ate the ones.
Well, to be fair, there were doctors about, but none of the ones I found specialized in disease removal. Then again, most of my contacts are all technologically related and whatnot. Does anybody want some gray Jello? I made it myself.
What's in it?
Wow, what a horrific
the same thing that's in every other bowl of Jello.
I am kind of hungry.
Organs and bone meal, of course.
Lord Gantu, if you could focus on trying to save the Scout. He seems to be a good person.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know about like underbelly folk anymore. So I've kind of ascended in the world a bit. So I could probably find a legitimate medical professional amongst my business clientele that might be able to lend aid, but cutter wise, no, I think I'm trying to leave that bit of my life behind. So maybe
your
someone
reputation
else
is more important than the life of one of your servants. I understand.
He understands.
Yes.
I don't serve him. We're just good friends.
Yeah.
Gantu won't say it, but knows he's not wrong.
Yeah. So, we should probably take care of it. I mean, do we think if we bring him to like one of these doctor folks, they can actually do something about it, or do we actually need to get the cure for this thing? Like,
I would vote actual cure. I mean, this thing, we don't know what it is. It's wild. It's infectious. It came out of a can full of green stuff.
All right. So let me. So the information that Nick gave, but just a little bit more nuance on it. So there's nothing reported to be a cure for it. The person running around is the person that Vogel hired to make a court case against Hawthorne to get them basically sued out of existence, because they made a chemical that was, it's meant to be to keep insects off plants. I mean, it's basically supposed to be a fungicide and insecticide. Unfortunately, it's highly dangerous, especially to people that have undergone, your various orcs and elves and everything else is more infectious and more lethal to that. So Vogel hired a chemist to break it down and show the lethality events of it. There's no record of there ever being anything created to be a cure for it, though. Just the specialist that you're talking about is the one who just got the dirt on how nasty the chemical was.
Yes. However, such an individual will likely travel within circles that will have knowledge about how to cure infectious disease, and not simply the hack cutters whose job it is to go, oh, you have a bullet in you. Let me cut you open enough so I can physically reach in and pinch out the bullet. One would hope, anyways.
I thought you were arguing for the hack cutters a moment ago.
There's different levels. I do want Scout to be saved and any port in a storm. However, if we could find the best port in the storm,
don't you have healing magic?
Yes.
Just heal Scout. What are we waiting for?
A reminder, you tried
you could
that.
Heal me the whole time.
No, you guys tried that with Techno G.
Yes.
And it did work, but almost immediately whatever's in his system started degrading him again. So it's not a cure. It just gives you more time.
That's the best we can hope for at the moment.
Scout, if your situation would dire, I would heal you. No doubts, because
I could die any second.
I think you probably should go ahead and heal him. Otherwise, I don't
Yes.
really see what
Of course,
other
Lord
reason
Gainton.
we keep you around. So why don't you get to it? Let's go. And then are we going to see this expert again and threaten him, kill him, that kind of stuff until he kind of gets us more information? Or did you all talk to him? I kind of missed that. I zoned
You
off
need to do the legwork. You've got a name.
Yeah.
You've got a connection to Vogel, but that's all you have.
Yeah, let's give Scout his B12 shot and let's go talk to this fella.
Oh, also, one thing that appeared to help Mistress Kaylee was by consuming the sentient flesh.
This is great Jello, by the way.
I'm sure that it is very tasty for you.
That was a person at some point, wasn't it, Kaylee?
Don't ask me my secret ingredients.
We're all friends. It's fine.
I'm not going to judge you for it. Not at all.
I do judge. I judge very harshly.
A judge might judge me for it, though.
Yes.
The real Scout seems to like it.
What a horrific thing. Please do not tell me you're feeding the dogs people.
No. The other Scout. Would you like some Jello, Scout?
Wait, if Scout eats that Jello, he's going to feel better?
I just want a doctor.
Listen, man, that's a stress right now. Let's just, let's meet us halfway here. Eat the Jello, take the healing thing. You'll feel better.
Do the spell. Just cast the spell. Make the pain go away.
I did cast the spell. Did you not? Oh, you didn't feel better? Oh, no. Yes, I cast the spell.
All right, go ahead and make the spell check.
You want me to roll?
Yep.
All right.
Depending on what you roll is how much more time before Scout starts to feeling the negative effects again.
All right. Ego. Bang. And so the spell goes, and I lose 2 points. And then it is roll 2d6.
Mm-hmm.
I'll roll it.
And you're not currently injured, are you, Scout?
Well, that's unfortunate.
No, that's okay.
I don't think I am. Let me check
Yeah,
real quick.
All right. I don't think you are either. So what I'm going to do is instead of that being 3 body back, but that is 3 hours. So it's basically delaying the symptoms by 3 hours.
Does it make the pain go away?
Yeah, you actually do feel better.
All right, I just snot out a
Ivan-
big glob of mucus.
Ivan,
thank
you
God.
haven't been feeling any worse. You just feel like you've got a fever. You're peaked. You're a little pale. And Kaylee has found, as long as she keeps consuming things, she's able to stave off the issue.
This raises an interesting point one of your philosophers raised. What price would you sell your soul if you gain the whole world in the result? And the answer seems to be yes. Yes, you lot would.
I think the question you asked wasn't a yes or no question, but the answer you gave what there's a disconnect. Let's just go talk to this fella, please. Can we go do this?
Let's
Yes.
go do this.
Okay. How do you want to track him down?
Kaylee.
Yeah. Kaylee?
I'll get on it.
MVP.
All right, yeah, I'll do a detective work skill check there.
All right. Well, before you roll, just looking up on like the net-based address book, he has retired. He was actually a pharmacist and a chemist. He's retired, but it looks like he's got a fairly large business profile where he has done a lot of startup companies that are doing recreational drugs, completely legal recreational drugs. You have an address for his main facility, but you're not finding any of his like private stuff, like no private address, etc.
Well, then, nuts to that, yeah, I'll try and hack into their systems to see if I can't find that information.
Okay. Clinton Conley is the man's name, and you can make the roll now if you want to actually try and penetrate the system.
Alrighty. 13 against 13 for a security systems check.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that'll work. So you get in. You go through the company roster, basically all the employees, that sort of thing. He's not listed as an employee, and there's no docket on him. There's no folder on him. However, as you're looking through the high rises, like what do they got there? There's several pharmaceutical rooms. They've got some white rooms that are specifically made for contagions. Don't come in, don't come out. They're sealed rooms. But there's a penthouse suite in there.
Mm-hmm.
The top floor is a penthouse suite with a on the roof swimming pool.
Ooh.
Now, you might suppose that belongs to him, but there's no way to know for sure.
Let's see.
Lady Kaylee, perhaps you could hack into his system and put in that he has a meeting with us at a near time, such that when we arrive there, he will expect that we will be there and we will be ushered into his office.
But as Kaylee's finding, he is not an employee of the company. He's not anywhere on the director list or anything. So
Bert,
there's
why
not
do you-
really anything that you could address that to.
Bert, why do you kill my good ideas?
Because
It's a good idea.
That's what I do. He's not listed in the company directory at all.
But that
you're able
penthouse
to.
suite is suspicious, so yeah, I'll take note of that address and see where that is.
It's downtown. It's here in the city.
Excellent. Then in that case, I'll just come back with a little note on my pan saying he might be at this address. Might be.
Let's go take a look then. Ain't no time to waste. Scout's gonna die.
Oh, no,
Feels much
he's-
better
Feeling
now.
better now.
Yeah.
But he will eventually die.
Someday.
I mean, we're all going to die sometime.
Oh, do ghouls die?
I'm not a ghoul just yet, but I suppose they might. I hope they do.
Oh. That'd be interesting. Living a horrific existence of timelessness as your hunger grows ever, and yet you cannot feast. I wonder how that interacts with the elf side of you. Anyways,
I'm taking this Jello on the road.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
So everybody's just going to go to the business.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So it's a high rise. It's actually listed that there are several businesses that do business within the confines of it. It's 20 stories. It's a very high one. You know, there's a penthouse up there. Most of the companies are pharmaceutical companies. Some of them are for like drug manufacture for actual maladies, but a lot of them are just party time pharmaceuticals that are completely legal, by the way. There's even one for Smash Cola. It's got a place here where it's a formula lab where they try out new flavors. Taco Hut has a location here where they try out new menu items, because none of that's real. It's all patterned soy grown in a vat. So yeah, in other words, the public can come in. Some of these places actually have trial rooms where they invite the public to come in and try out their new products, just to get a survey of the random person to see how it goes over. You do have to sign the disclaimer. The disclaimer could include death by ingestion. It's in small print, but it's there. So if you guys go there, you've got everything showing on a little billboard as you're walking in, the various companies. There's 10 different companies that do business in here. Nothing above the 10th floor, though, is listed. So like if you're looking at the companies, scrolling through, first 10 floors, that's what they are. Everything above the 10th floor, though, there's nothing in the directory. There is no one here physically, although you do see drones about. And there's a bank of elevators.
GM, I would like to be following the party with a healthy bottle of disinfectant, and anything the others are touching, I would like to disinfect.
Masu is just coming up behind you and wiping off all the surfaces that you touch.
Yep.
Well, now that I notice he's doing that, I'm making sure to touch even more things.
To be fair, Ivan, would you I mean, there are things that perfectly pass your notice. Would you care what Masu does?
It brings me
Haley
joy.
notices, and she's sucking on the spoon from her Jello, and she's like, "This right here, tap. This right here is interesting in that none of these floors here is the floor that we need."
I'm merely trying to protect the citizens at large in this crappy little city you run. How are you trying to... Don't understand.
All right.
Anyway, it was the penthouse, right? That's where we're going.
Exactly.
So, what is our... given that he likely will have guards once we rise to the penthouse, and only... I would expect that he would have his own personal elevator to there.
And you see a bank of elevators. There's 5 of them. They all look similar.
I'll go
Maybe
push
take a
the
look
up
around.
button on each of them.
Okay.
Do any of them have only one button?
If you want to look into them, all of them only have 10 buttons. Actually, 11. There's a basement level for parking. None of them have more than those buttons. Although you do see a keypad panel nearby, but none of them have anything above the 10th floor.
And do we know how many floors are in this building?
It's 20 floors, 20 stories.
Fuck, they forgot some things. Kaylee, come plug into this.
All right. I'll start diddling around with the keypad to see if I can't figure out how to get this elevator to go higher than 10 floors.
Okay, you pick one of the
Scout will
elevators.
press 9999 because that's his password.
Son of a B, if this works.
You
So
changed it.
you
Used to
push
be 1,
9.
2, 3, 4. Look at you.
It
Did
went
all
to
of you
zeros for a while.
Did all of
Well,
you pile into the same elevator? Let's start with that.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So as soon as you push
Yeah.
9, the doors will close and it starts going up to the 9th floor. There's a little tune going on that's interrupted with the try the new Taco Hut pre-seasoned cauliflower deep fried chimichanga. And there's
I'm
actually
going
like
to
an
vomit.
ad that
That's
plays.
horrible.
as well. And the elevator's quite fast. It opens up on the 9th floor, and this is the taco hut floor. You step out, and behind glass partitions, you can see that's basically it's an enormous kitchen and
Wow.
vats where they're taking out designer protein and they're dipping it in various flavorings. It actually smells incredibly good.
Why would we ever step out? No, we stay in
Well,
the
you don't
elevator.
have to step out, but the door's open on the 9th floor, and that's what's on the 9th floor.
Okay. I look at it.
Or we
and
all just kind
reflect.
of look out.
Yeah.
When's the last time we ate? I could go for a meal.
I mean, Kaylee eats all the
do.
I
time.
offered you Jello, but no. Start to trying to
Kaylee,
bypass
I'm
their
sorry,
security systems.
I was literally dying. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to offend you.
so
I'll
Kaylee, as
pull out
soon
my
as
gun.
you start, you hold out your Okay.
Scout, shall we go get food?
Yeah, I mean, if they're serving, if they're open, I
Could-
don't want to
no!
make anyone.
Lord, please. Could we stay focused on the mission at hand and not infect the entire city until we have a cure at least?
I cough out the elevator door onto the taco hut floor. Reholster my gun.
It costs you nothing not to murder these people. It costs you more effort to kill them.
Yes,
I hate to say it, but Masu does have a point. We should probably mask up.
I'm throwing my spoon out of the elevator.
that's what I'm talking about, Kaylee.
Flash forward to 20 years when they're doing a documentary and they focus on this spoon. It's believed that this is patient zero. This is where it all started.
Kaylee, you have such a rebellious streak. I love that about you.
That's why I'm a rock and roll star.
Kaylee, you start looking at the pad that's nearby, and when you start fiddling with it, almost immediately there's a voice crackles over the intercom. It does not sound pre-recorded. It just says, "Can I help you?"
Oh, yes, we're here to see Clinton Connolly about us dying from a chemical infection.
It pauses for a moment and says, "What chemical?"
I will blah the Hushhorn manufacturer chemical.
Yeah, the Hawkjorn chemical that was the subject of Arthur Vogel's major lawsuit that turned him into a big name.
There's a moment that passes, and then state your names, please. Please present your system identification numbers, and if you happen to be armed, please unarm yourselves on the floor of the elevator.
My name is Ivan. My number is 2. I carry no weapons.
Your mind is the weapon.
Kindly disgorge it onto the floor of the elevator.
All right, I'll pull my revolver out and set it on the floor.
I'll put my guns on the floor.
I'll
All
point out of the elevator. My spoon's out there already. It's fine.
Also, the spoon that was thrown on floor 9 might be highly infectious.
It's fine. And I'll run my fake SIN through the keypad that I'm hooked up to.
Actually, you can just broadcast it from your pans. That's kind of
No,
what he's
okay,
asking for. Is that just
That works.
Does anyone not comply with that part of it? The broadcasting of your SIN number.
My sin is fake, so I have no problem sharing it.
My sin is real, so therefore I have no problem sharing it.
Of course.
I don't know how to broadcast it. Is that something you can do on your end?
Actually, let me see your pan real quick. It's probably better if an expert broadcasts it.
Okay,
want to
the battery
infect their
just died,
system.
though.
Oh, for God.
You tap it, and it's just covered with logos and all kinds of advertisements.
Oh, I wouldn't suspect you need a penile enhancement, Scout.
They'll seem to target him constantly.
Those ads just they come with the phone for some reason. I don't understand. Like they're there when you purchase it.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
I-
Gantu, do you present your sin or no?
Oh yeah, I present.
You do. Okay. So there's you hear. Okay. You are. I'm going to release a foam into the elevator that will just make sure that you're clean. The elevator will progress to the penthouse suite. There will be a security team that will meet you and will check you for weaponry. Anything that you've left in the elevator will be confiscated, returned to you on your leaving of the tower. Is this understood?
Voice in the sky. I would just like to point out that our weaponry is also likely highly infectious.
Noted.
Good.
Yeah, one other thing. Weapons are sort of like part of me, so I can't, and I'll just hold up like the fist and everything in my leg, and I'm like, so I ain't trying to hide nothing, but
Understood.
I ain't detaching these.
Please eject your ammo.
Yeah, I can do that. And so I just shake my leg.
50 caliber bullets fall out. All right. So as soon as you agree, though, that you're all misted with a foam that kind of covers you from head to toe, it goes away very quickly, though. Leaves behind a very antiseptic kind of taste and smell in your mouth. And then the elevator quickly starts going up, 10th, 11th, 12th, hits the top floor. Elevator opens, and there is, in fact, a security team there. It's a 5-man team. They're all in tactical vests, tactical gear. They've got the helmets with the full swept visors over it. No one has guns pointed exactly at you, but they're like to the ready. One of them shorter, actually freakishly short, maybe 4 or 5, under 5 feet tall, steps forward and says, I understand that you are infected with an agent that is tied to the Hawthorne Chemical Company, and this somehow involves Mr. Vogel. Is this correct?
Yeah, you got that about right. Some of us are. Some of us might not be.
Okay. My men here are going to just search you for any weaponry, anything that we find that you might have forgotten. We'll just hold for you, sanitize everything, and we'll return it to you once Mr. Conley is finished with you. Is that all right? She points to you, Gantu. If you'll step forward.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm open. I'm an open book. Go ahead.
Yep. It's just a quick pat down. They note that you've got cyberware, and just they kind of tell you stand aside to the hallway. Each of you go through. Was anyone trying to hold back anything?
No, I have nothing.
Nah.
Okay. All right. So after this is all done, at the end of the hall, you do see that there is like another small elevator. You didn't see the berth end of it at the first floor at all. She directs you to just take the elevator up, and Mr. Conley will speak to you.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right, boys. Let's go.
Let's go.
Lady.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. As soon as you enter in, there's a red light that kind of goes down and up, like you're being scanned. And then after a moment, it goes just the final little bit up to the penthouse suite. You guys actually step out onto the rooftop. There's this beautiful, sparkling, bluish green swimming pool, sparkling in the sun.
Get me one of these. Private
It's
elevator.
horrible. Oh my
That's
Swimming
very
pool.
cool.
This is a life right here, man.
Yes.
There's a little cabana nearby, lots of chairs
Taking
sitting
notes.
Yep.
Yeah, I can do this. Rock
there's-
and get me here.
out. An older man
Go
that's
back to the
reclining.
boiler room.
He's got some kind of beverage that he's drinking with a very long straw, and one of these sunshades as he's lounging by. He takes off his sunglasses and looks at you, and it's not necessarily an unfriendly look, but he's pensive for a moment and says, well, I'm going to guess this isn't one of Vogel's plays for popularity, as none of you seem to be news reporters of any sort.
No, I don't. I'm pretty sure half of us don't even know how to read, but a few of them are dying. So if you don't mind, Doc, could you lend us a little bit of your expertise here?
Well, he's not actually he's probably a doctor.
Okay,
but-
that's good. That's good. I'm talking to the man who knows what he's talking about over here. So what do you say there, Mr. Connolly?
He kind of steeples his hands under his chin. He looks at you all for a moment and says, well, first of all, what exactly did you come in contact with? Please describe as best as you can the vessel it was contained in, your sensation of the substance itself. Was it slippery? Was it unctuous? Was it sticky, tacky?
It was green crap from a garbage can.
Oh,
Okay, so uh, a reset of that. It was sealed in a hermetically sealed metal tube that was black and that had. And I will give him a description of the general
Well,
characteristics of it. And then it had broken, and then the where we found it was in a trash can. It eventually arrived at a trash can. Lady Kaylee is not wrong, but not the full end of the story.
well, that does narrow things down. I do know the container that you're talking about. Likely that's Agent 19. Yes, I was hired by Vogel to show how incredibly toxic the substance was. It's to be deployed for, well, revivification of certain urban areas so that food might have been grown. Yes. If I remember correctly, it has a penchant for affecting those that are, that have undergone the change. So I'm assuming, and he looks at Mausu, are you infected? He looks at Scout, are you?
Lord
Again, I got
Ivan is infected, but I appear not to have any symptoms. I had a mild passing phase, but then my superior karmatic system seemed to have fought it off.
He
I'm
gets up
very sick. I could die in a couple hours.
and he approaches you and he says, "You, I understand," as he points at Scout. You, pointing at Ivan, at best, you should have had some sinus problems and a bit of fatigue.
it's like a mild, rough cold, depending on the moment. I'm going to chalk it up that maybe it's my magical inclination.
But what was 0G? Techno G?
Technology.
Technology.
He's elf.
Yep.
Okay. So he was also a sub.
Well, if you will allow, then, if I could get a blood draw from each of you, including you, Miss, nodding his head at Keely.
Ooh. I don't
I'm
like
good
needles.
with this.
I'll see what I can do about that.
Is this like a step towards getting Counter Agent 19 injecting these folks here so they can feel better? Is this like a necessary thing?
Well, Agent 19 should not have affected him, pointing at Ivan, at all. So I need to make sure what it is you actually were infected by. There was no counter agent to Agent 19. One could be developed. There was never a reason to, though, as Mr. Vogel's court case shut down Hawthorne quite handily after their facility was destroyed by that terrorist organization. And all of the chemicals were reclaimed. So there was no reason to
point
produce.
out. Sorry to interrupt you. You're a very intelligent person, but we did find out that there's more, and they're planning to release it at whatever politician's big rally here on the next day.
It would be Master Vogel's. However, we had not yet decided on what to do about that.
Well, I hope you have let the authorities know about it at least. No, no. Let's find out first what is in your veins. This way, please. I do have a modest lab in my home here.
Yeah. I'll roll my sleeve up, ready for the.
Yeah. So when he says modest, it's like that scene from like Iron Man when he walks into his lab and there's all these mechanical Waldo devices that are doing his bidding. It's like as soon as you walk in the door, something comes out of the ceiling, injects you, pulls blood out. It's like before you can even blink, he's got his samples. He's running it through his computers, big floating holographic screen as he's looking at it. He's like, come in. On the left is my records. Pardon the fidelity. These were done 20 years ago. This is the chemical analysis and formula. You notice the molecule structure here. This is Agent 19. And on the right is what I am seeing in your blood stream. He's looking at Kaylee. He's just like, oh, I see you are trying the new synthetic flesh. How is that working? It's actually one of my patents.
It's delicious.
Well, now I know you're lying to me. It's not meant to be flavorful. It's simply meant to keep you alive.
Well, it is flavorful, I'll tell you that much.
Interesting. Seems to have a reaction with, and he brings up again. Now he's got the molecular structure compared. Now you guys can plainly see with no particular, knowledge in chemistry, but they're not exactly the same. There are some changes. He says, well, they are based on the same product, but if you see here, the one on the right, which is in all of you, has been modified to be far more virulent. You are all carriers. He's looking at it. Quite amazing. And it seems to be attaching to all cells, not just the cells of those of you that have undergone eugenic expression. How long ago were you vectors? When did you first come in contact with it?
Well, roughly 24 hours.
20. And how many people have you come in contact with?
We have striven to limit it. However, we did push one of our friends, one of our fellow
business partners.
Yes, one of our acquaintances in crime out the car door and into a hospital.
What hospital? Which hospital?
We had pinned a note to him that he was infectious.
No, please. Which hospital? Quickly.
I'll tell him which hospital.
Murder View. The Murder View.
That was founded by Cyrus Murder View.
The Stop and Shop.
He fires off some information. Apparently, he knows the heads of that hospital. He's like, look, treat this as a virulent case. Get him in a protected room. Make sure that any of your people that are handling him are put in quarantine. Where else have you gone? Everyone needs to be. This is highly virulent. This will spread very quickly.
Lady Kaylee threw a spoon out on your 9th floor.
We've taken care of that.
Oh, good.
I'll run him through all of our
cutscene to the taco hut as flamethrowers just come out of the ceiling, just killing everybody on the floor.
Yeah.
It's for the best for all of us.
But yeah, I'll run him through everywhere we've been and what we've been up to and some of the things that we've seen.
To be fair, our social circle is quite small.
See.
Well, so is Gantry infected too, by the way?
Yes.
Should I tell him about how Masu has spit shined all of your bowling pins?
It seems that some folks will come down with we will call it with an in case. Others are better as factories and continue to create more of it, which will continue to spread. The factories, of course, the agent wishes to keep the factory alive so they can produce more. It seems to be keying on this particular gene. It shows Scout, you're particularly vulnerable to it.
Let's just cycle back for a second really quick. I'm infected. Like I just saw them like an hour ago when I was out of town, nowhere, and I'm infected already.
Yes.
We traveled.
This is like, I think this might be breaking a record of some kind. Can you look that up? Get like Guinness or something to see if this is like the fastest infectious agent. Like I saw like a horror movie once where like stuff kind of moved really fast. This is like even faster. Like this is dangerous.
Yes, it is quite fast. It seems that what is in your bloodstream is the same agent, though it has not attached to your genetic structure. It's simply using your cells to replicate itself.
Yeah, so that means he won't get sick, right?
Well, it seems that it has designated your friend here as a factory, and no, he seems to be fine.
Oh, nice, Cantu. Good job.
Right on. Okay. Oh, wait, but Scout, he's dying.
Yes.
How do I get to become a factory?
Well, how it chooses has more to do with your genes than anything else, and that's unfortunately something we can't change. I can
spore cell genes like a bunch of kinds. We can go get them different kinds.
Yeah, I like a slim fit, but I really don't care which.
Yes.
Would you like some water? You seem to be having a coughing fit there. I can develop something that will cause this to be neutralized and you'll simply pass it out of your bodies, but it will take some time. Mr. Vogel's address at the Superdome is just 2 days. They will need to be notified. Unfortunately, since working for Mr. Vogel back when he was just a lawyer, I haven't really kept up with him since. I've got no particular in with his organization, although he may remember my name.
Right. Well, it doesn't really sound like we can be doing any legwork at the moment until you go cook up that counter agent for us, or else we're going to be risking infecting everybody else.
Yes.
So it sounds like
you shouldn't leave here.
Master Connell, could you perhaps manufacture suppressant while you are doing your long-term work of curing? So
here? No. Unfortunately, my laboratory is mostly for information gathering. I can't produce anything here, but I can. The hospital that you dropped your friend off at, I was a significant donor to. I'm sure I can get lab time there and can produce something.
Yeah.
We need to get you quarantined. That is as good a place as any.
For that hospital, check all the dwarvish fellows. Maybe that's the thing that turns them into factories.
Look into that.
We are pretty industrious people, so I mean, that sort of makes sense.
Yes. Well, if there is anyone that you need to contact and may have come into direct contact with you, it seems like it does need to be passed on through your breath, spittle.
What about
direct
dogs?
contact? Dogs.
Yes.
You have an infected dog?
Well, if they could
We
be
have a
infected.
dog.
Cut to the bowling alley where Scout's going in between the crowd, just touching and rubbing up against everybody as he's going through the crowd.
We have a bunch of dogs now, though.
Yes,
like,
you do.
I remember Ivan and Nancy both took dogs. Yeah.
We've got like 4 to 6 dogs.
Something like that. Yeah.
Well, this modified structure does not look like it can turn any genes within a quadruped into factory. So while they may be infected, they cannot reproduce, nor can they harm the dog. So I think that is fine.
Kind of like toxoplasmosis.
Oh, you have some education.
He's just making up words now.
Yes,
Someone's sounding fancy. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that your lack of education would make the rest of you feel bitter, but I approve.
Pleasant surprise.
Yes, indeed. Yes, it's I did not grow up in America, so I actually had the benefits of an actual education.
So what happens next? If you go, he gives you some time to contact anyone who might have been in close proximity to you.
Query.
Yeah.
There was some street mercenaries who took the chemical that was in a trash bag and then they took it in a helicopter.
Oh, you remember they're all dead. You found the chopper and you found their bodies. They're all dead.
Yes, but now I'm referencing the fact that they might have used it like a aerosolized chemical over the entirety of the city.
That is possible. That is entirely possible. Its vector seems to be airborne. It gets into your mucous membranes, through your nose, your eyes, your mouth. Skin contact would work as well.
So Lady Kaylee, perhaps you could troll the intertubes and see if there are a widespread cases of people coming down with an infectious disease in the locales that we went through to see if we could data mine and see whether or not.
Perhaps if we could get Kaylee, is it a terminal at the hospital? I find we should move along quite quickly. Your friend Scout there, I noticed that it has already started to infiltrate more of the cells. As we are watching, you see the blood cells that you've got up for Scout. You see like it's almost like a corkscrew as it kind of just winds its way into the cell. It gets in there and the cell just explodes.
Cool. Also, they do appear to get better with magical healing.
It's possible they may be aware, magically aware. It's not my forte, but there are some surgeons at the hospital that is within their wheelhouse. But please, we need to retire there as quickly as possible. I don't want to risk a helicopter in case something happens. I think a limo. Yes, we'll take my limo.
I like it.
So just shortcut it. You guys arrive at the hospital. They bring you in through basically their special ward that's used for any kind of virus breakout sort of thing. You're all basically stripped down, given cruddy hospital gowns to wear as he's working this out. Now you got your devices. You guys can contact people as you want. Kaylee, they give you access to the outside world through a terminal. But you're all put inside this very bright room, which is really hurting your eyes, Kaylee. And there's it's observation glass. So there are students monitoring you on the outside through various sensors in the floors and the ceilings. And he goes to work to see what he can do.
First thing, let's see, I'll tap on the observation glass and say, "I am in pain. Might I have some painkillers, please?"
I could use some Dayquil for sure.
It's probably been a few hours. Yeah. Sure. They direct you to one of the chairs in the room. They're just like, "Yep, just insert a needle and we'll pump something in."
I'll tell you when to stop.
The Murder View Hospital. We'll pump some stuff into you.
Appropriately sedated, both to protect myself from the burn of the light and also from boredom. I will now troll the internets to find out, first of all, if there are any reports of sicknesses along where the chopper would have gone from the flight from the apartment to the chemical.
Yeah, so you troll some of the blacknet sites, and there's nothing. There's no substantial reports of anything. No hospitals are being overwhelmed with people coming down with flu-like or cold-like symptoms. Everything seems fine. Gone to. You may just be nervousness, but you feel a little warm. You sweat a little, but otherwise it's okay. You guys stew there for many hours. After a bit, though, Dr. Conley comes back, and there's a few vials that he has, the little Waldos where they put the drawer in between with the airlock. And he says, "Okay, if you would all, these are slap patches. If you will all apply this, please. This will neutralize the agent in your system to keep them from replicating. And unfortunately, this is not a cure, but you won't get any worse." He looks at Scout specifically. "But it won't undo anything that it has already caused."
How often are we going to have to reapply this?
This is it.
It's one-shot deal?
Just a one-shot deal, yes. Now the bad news, unfortunately. Mr. Vogel's representatives believe that this is a stunt to stop his speaking at the Superdome, and has stopped taking my calls. I have tried to go up higher in his people's structure, and they're all pretty convinced that this is simply a media stunt to stop him from speaking. I'm kind of at a loss. As you are the only infected persons that we have, we certainly cannot alarm the entire city, saying that an outbreak might occur, or that a weaponized designer molecule may be released in the Superdome. It would cause
So what you're saying
a lot of
is
problems.
You need us to find a way to stop the speech at the Superdome to keep this thing from getting spread out amongst all the people there.
Well, I get the feeling that you have made a living doing such things for money in the past.
Yes.
I have never walked those circles, and unfortunately, while I do have significant resources, I don't have contacts and that sort of thing. I mean, if I wanted to hire a team, is that what they're called? A team, an organization to do this for me? I wouldn't know where to start.
Well, you could
Runners.
just say, "Hey, you five, why don't I pay you like 20 grand and go take care of this? That way the speech can't happen tomorrow."
Wow.
He looks dead at you and says, "Hey, you five, why don't I pay you 20 grand?" And he just
Damn
means
it.
exactly what
Ivan, you
say.
undersold it. Damn it. You agreed to
I'm
that too easily. You should have went 50,
sorry.
man.
Oh, wow. I
Ah.
wouldn't think our services would be worth over 5 grand.
We get paid a lot of money for what we
Yep.
do.
Yeah, you,
Oh. There's
yeah,
not-
You think you are up to
20's
this.
really not that much.
You understand that as a presidential hopeful, Mr. Vogel will have very good security.
Yeah, not the problem.
Other than for me to tell you that it will be in a canister, likely to be aerosolized to get maximum effectiveness. I can't tell you how else. I mean, for all I know, it could be inserted into the air systems, the water systems. Do you have any idea who's behind this? If we knew the psychology,
Yes.
perhaps.
We do.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
I'll pull up the picture of the deceased Terra First fella that we found earlier, and then I'll just say he looks like that, but older and more grizzled.
Okay. I also thought that whole organization died.
Ah,
Interesting.
yes, this
I
is why
too
we should
thought
not
they
believe
died.
what you read in the newspapers. We have learned this in China. You apparently have not learned this.
After you've all applied the patch, he waits 15 minutes and airlock opens. It says you are no longer infectious. Again, I'm sorry I can't repair any damage that it's already done.
That's quite all right. You did your best.
Can we take any of those patches home?
Yeah, he gives you like a box that's got like a dozen patches in it. I could make more. This is just the first batch that we have running. It takes about a 12-hour cycle to make more of this.
And this doesn't count for the 20 grand, correct? This is
Well,
on
no.
top of that.
I am assuming
Right.
you're going to use it for people that you've previously gotten in contact with. We have already
dogs,
administered
at
this
least,
to the
yes.
list you gave us.
No, excellent.
Yeah. We were totally not going to sell that or anything. And that the 20 grand thing, that was like per person, right? We were doing that per person, right? That's what you meant to say, Ivan.
That's what I totally said. He must have misheard me.
Yeah, per person.
He pauses for a moment. He says, "I'm not going to mince money. You are the best tool that I have at the moment. I'm sure that a grateful public will be able to raise that money if needed." Yes, I agree.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, we're on the same page then. That's great, fantastic. Okay.
So at this point, you have 1 day before the speech. You were basically held for 24 hours.
Okay. So, if I was a terrorist, how would I strike? Eco-terrorists typically want to do this thing in such a fashion that they are going to be noticed as the people who have done it. Given this target's fixation on Vogel, we can assume that Vogel and this individual had a deal, at which point in time Vogel backstabbed him and probably cut him out like most Johnsons do. So therefore, this is likely a direct revenge motivation. So he will want Vogel to know who did it and why it was done. So this will likely be something of a 2-part mission. One part will be the flash, and the other part will be the actual action that does the damage in of itself. So the question is, do we want to focus on the flash or the people who are going to die?
Ivan, can I speak with you for a moment?
Yeah, sure. Let's go
So
hunt him.
we kill Vogel. And we plant terror first propaganda on him. So when the terrorist shows up to do his deed, he'll be like, "Oh, we got our revenge! Hooray!"
Okay, I'm good with that. I really didn't have any
All right.
plan when we accepted the job. I mean, I was just planning on like actually blowing the stadium up. Like you can
That
set
actually
off-
works too. Then we'll do the propaganda.
Technically a win. Same amount of lives lost, but it doesn't spread afterwards. Technically a win.
Yeah.
A lot of nodding
Nuke
in
it
this
from orbit.
two-man
That's the
huddle
only
over
way to
here.
be sure.
All right, good.
Wow. I can feel the negative karma from here. Just like the
All your Pokemon are crowded around us going, "No."
Oh, Gantu, just so you know, I am a spirit-based mage, and my spirits live in Pokemon and Pokemon. So I call.
He has little monster stuffed animals.
Yeah. We're gonna have to reevaluate the employee infrastructure after this mission. Anyway, any other plans besides blowing up the whole place?
So, what I would reckon is that given that he's likely has a 2-stage plan here, it's going to be the ventilation system that he is attacking for his subtle maneuver, and then he's probably going to have a larger maneuver that likely comes from the underground, given that the man's control of spirits. So what I would say, so the best and the easiest way to have access to this facility will likely be to pose as maintenance crews. And then as they have very low security for this kind of stuff, and you can move in large bits of equipment and large amounts of poison in there at the same time. It will be pre-staged to go off during the game itself.
Oh, let me slide one more little piece of information here. Mr. Conley will tell you that actually it doesn't need to be a large amount. He tells you that a cylinder roughly a foot cube is more than enough to infect and kill everybody in the stadium.
And if people can, in fact, act as factories for the virus and not be infected themselves, it is worth noting Gantu is a dwarf, and so is Vogel.
Yeah. Like, are we just trying to just get this thing canceled? Or are we trying to actively get in there and get, whatever these substances are? Because those seems like I addressed this to my crew. Ivan, do you want to blow the whole thing up? Like, do we want to get in there and get these canisters out of there? Or are we just trying to, for now, stall by getting the whole
I
kit
think
and shut
to
down?
get the job done, it would be easier to get the event canceled
Yeah.
rather
I think
than
we
trying to
yeah.
get access to scour the entire thing 24 hours. That seems
Right.
very difficult.
Right. Plus, then, all them people are going to be in the place and they're going to be in danger and stuff like that. We can get it canceled, then maybe that might be
I think
Second
that's
bet.
the better route.
Where are you guys discussing this? Are you still in the Murder View Hospital, or are you in your van talking about this?
Oh, I figured we were in the hospital talking
Okay.
to each other.
in front of random strangers. Now, listen, this thing's going to kill everybody. So,
So what we have to do is kill the presidential candidate. No, we blow up the place.
or we blow the whole place up while he's there, just to be sure.
I mean,
Option B.
potato, potato, all right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's fight terrorism with terrorism.
Wait. I assumed this was a joke. We should not do this. This
No,
seems.
this is what we're doing.
Wait.
Now, I guess we're just at an impasse. All right, guys, let's get going. Let's
Let's
blow
go.
up that stadium. Come on.
Let's get to the van.
Everyone who wants
Now
to blow
think
the
of
stadium,
it this
come on,
way.
get in the
The
van.
athletes are underpaid. The stadium is a monument to capitalism. It's an altar to evil that must be destroyed rather than
Yeah,
It's like
protected.
poetry. It's like poetry coming
true
out.
words.
It rhymes.
Tears to my eye.
I would like to have several layers of timeout.
I think everybody's actually in the van. Somebody said,
we're
like, everyone
going.
who's up for blowing up the stadium. Get in
I
the van.
don't mind being in the van. I would just merely like to point out the sheer act of the terrorism will make us into what you might like to call wanted individuals.
Not the first time, not last time.
Yeah,
I
it's,
mean, Scout, like, he's been wanted for murder for like a year and a half now. It's fine.
Well,
I
let's
didn't
not
actually
protect
do
the
it though.
time for
That's
the time.
that's important to know.
No, we know you didn't, but you've been wanted for it. though.
Yes,
Two
you
different things.
wrongly accused. But anyway,
Right.
let us not forget
But-
the time that as technology wanted to kill us and we had to leave the country.
Those
But-
are good times. Yeah.
But-
Yeah, we need
I-
another vacation. Let's go back to the Caribbean.
Yes, might be
So second layer of timeout is that I don't want to be murder people.
Well, you joined the wrong group, my friend.
Why are you in the van then? We
We're
very
not going to
clearly
murder people.
established
They
threshold.
talk a big game, but we don't actually kill people like that. Well, Ivan
I
does when he
saw
goes rogue, but
Ivan kill people.
that's when he goes rogue. We just got to make sure that he stays with the team, and it'll be fine.
Kaylee eats people.
I do have
They're
a
already-
tendency to kill people a lot more frequently when I'm not.
Yeah, to be fair,
When I'm
Kaylee
left on my
only
own.
eats dead people, specifically. Dead people.
Is that true? I think that we have.
I'm not an eagle. I'm a buzzard.
Oh, wait, I got it. I got it.
Yes,
We blow the place up beforehand, and so we don't kill anybody.
I thought that was
Well-
the plan.
Well, there will be.
Oh, see, I was thinking we. Okay, that
Gotcha.
makes more sense now. Okay.
Okay.
All right, we're on. All right, yeah,
We're on
okay,
board.
Or we could just find the terrorists and stop them.
We've got
Yeah.
24 hours. Do
Yeah.
you know where to start on finding the terrorists? Because I
Yes.
sure as shit don't.
Yeah.
I know where to start on getting this event shut down in the next 24
Well,
hours.
So this guy, he's moving through circles, the same circles they moved through in the original case. So he's moving through eco-terrorist circles. So these are the people who are both supplying them and allowing him to operate, which is why he was moving through the Hawthorne chemical plant. So there are people whom he trusts and whom he knows who have been hiding him for these past 20 years and working through and with and by. So these people will be able to lead us to where this is. In addition, he has chained some toxic spirits. Now, that's a very rare type of spirit and one that is not readily and immediately available. So he is also passing through the shamanistic circles, which I have some plug into, although, Ivan, you might have a better plug into.
I was
and if
right,
we-
everyone. I was right. Moving Through Circles is totally the name of a song by Paul Cherry. You said it, and I'm just like, I'm sure it is. So I've been looking this up. It's a good song. You should check it out. But I'm sorry, you were talking.
Ah, you are a train of thought terrorist. You go in and destroy the trains of thought as they exist.
Anyway, so
Well, see,
we're
the
on
thing
the way
is,
to the
thing is,
place,
Marcy,
right?
your trains are like really, really long, you know, and like we got 24 hours, man. We ain't got that time to see that whole train.
Well,
Let's just go blow up the damn
Well,
place.
well, so this is not the type of person who is going to be subtly moving through there with quietness and certitude like I would. He's going to be moving through it like a big blundering elephant, like Ivan does, where there is many witnesses and many people who are seeing what he's doing. So therefore, if we wanted to find Ivan, it would be a pretty easy freaking task because he lacks the ability to be subtle. Because he has a B in his subtle. So therefore, I think that
it would be very difficult to find me because I usually don't leave witnesses.
Plus you
Also,
can cast invisibility and everything.
I
You can
can't.
see him and-
the
it's
next
very
step
good
is
thing.
this is an organization that was thought destroyed over a decade ago. And the only reason we stumbled upon it is because Technology, a very skilled hacker, notified us that he was in peril. Like, nah, let's just go to the place and, destruct it up.
Oh, okay. So if
I take
It's
it you're
not-
You don't
already
even have to
driving
blow it
the-
up.
Yeah,
we're on-
we're already there.
it's
probably.
not
We're out
it's
in the
not
parking
gonna
lot.
take us long to destroy the place. and to kill the security guards and kill all the maintenance technicians. Or we could spend 12 hours trying
No.
to ask people, hey, do you know this immediately recognizable figure? And would you betray him for money? Because none of you Americans have any honor except for you, Scout. You have a lot of honor.
So
But
you guys,
we
so
push
as
him out of the
Masu
van?
continues to talk,
Mhm.
you have gotten a block away from the Superdome, and you notice that there are military vehicles parked around it, as well as some very conspicuous black sedans. It looks like ahead of the presidential hopeful coming to speak here, they are doing a full scan. They're checking for any, because remember, your friend Mr. Conley did try and say that there was going to be a terrorist attack, and while he was pushed off, it doesn't look like his security team is discounting it. So they're going over the entire stadium, every inch. So it's all lit up. They're keeping traffic around the block so you can't even get to it without being directed on.
Look who has the good idea now.
Not to
Well,
say
there's-
you can't stealth in there and do something, but
Yeah,
if
we're
you're
still going
if you're
in there.
following
I
the
know.
normal
That
traffic
ain't
laws, you're
deterring
being
us.
directed around.
Let's just go park, get invisible, follow in the security team, follow them around as they do their sweep, and then once we find something that looks integral, we'll just set up our trap there. That way, it's already been swept. Get out, boom, boom, job done.
So you're imagining that the high tech government overlords aren't going to have magical looky-loos for people who are invisible?
No, they never do. It's a very
Oh.
large gap in their planning, but
Kind of done this before too.
yeah, this
so,
this is par for course.
did that private military thing. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It may be worth looking for circles of summoning in that case, because
So
he does summon spirits.
Yeah, he did summon those big dogs. There was big dogs that we fought and I befriended, but I had to kill them.
Yeah, that was really
Very
sad too.
Yeah.
Kind of tugging the heartstrings.
Okay, so prior to us trying to sneak in, do you mind if I look for spirits who are probably going to notice us?
You go for
Yes, send Charizard out to scout for us, please.
Yes. All right. So I am going to go into the astral plane and go looking for nasty spirits.
Okay.
Who are,
All right. So, did you buy your power framework that you need to roll for every spell?
no, I have a bunch of them that are just like. Meh.
Okay. Which, if going astral is one of those, there is in fact astral security. Even with your not being here that long, everyone knows who Knight Errant is. They are hardcore magical protection. They are not part of the state or government. They're mercs for hire. And they are on premises. There's not many of them, but you see 3 adepts about. They have summoned guardian spirits that are just basically patrolling the place.
Mm-hmm.
You're not the only looky-loo, though. There are plenty of people that have gone astral to see what's going on, basically eating popcorn on the sidelines. And as long as no one is getting too close, they're fine with it. So you're getting the definite move along.
Yes. I will return to the group and I will say blah. Do y'all say blah, by the way?
Oh, that's not a thing that we've done with these groups.
Oh, okay. So blah just means I repeat everything that the GM said, just so that way I don't have to say it again.
What? Oh, okay.
All right.
Yes.
Let's go.
Knight Errant.
What? I don't think you heard what I said.
Is ah different than blah, or is that the same thing?
No, very different.
It sounds pretty similar.
It does, but much like subtle and subtle are 2 different things. They have magical security, and they are looking for people.
Yeah, but it's also worth noting that Damian Knight of Knight Errant is also a presidential hopeful.
Yep.
Oh, are we going invisible now?
I really don't want to fight
If
out.
we do go invisible, we might run into spirits who will punch me in the chest.
Yes, there are active spirits on site. Lord Gansu, I just don't believe that running into the military-industrial complex face first is perhaps the best way to achieve our objectives here.
If they fail in
Yeah.
their job, Knight Errant have succeeded in pleasing their CEO. No matter what happens, they win in this case. As much as I hate to say it, we might have to backtrack out of the exploding the arena plan.
I don't know, Ivan. I go to you for my magical knowledge, so I'll defer to you, man.
Listen, if there's spirits there that give us trouble, we just nuke them too. Like, fired. Problem solved.
There are 3 mages versus 1.5 of us.
Well, it's very, you should count yourself more. I mean, I know you're an intern, but
It's more that I am not a combat mage.
well, everyone's got their faults. Let's go invisible and go.
Oh, God.
Okay, make the spell.
I gotta find one.
I know your list is all your powers are contingent on making a spell roll or spell check.
And I think I got something that makes that
+1.
Yeah, this is roll under.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right. Yeah. So 13 under 16. I'm good.
Okay. There you go. And remember though that you're having to, unless you bought it to no endurance, you're having to pay endurance while this is going on. So this is stressful to you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You are all invisible. You guess.
I am going to be turning on my force field
Okay.
and my regeneration.
Okay. So how do you approach?
I'll do my best not to sniffle.
Oh my God! I crit my force field. Sad face.
Okay. Again, how do you approach?
Let's just, find someone holding a door open and move in behind them.
You
So-
find a team that is going in with a bunch of high-tech equipment, probably bomb scanners, you're thinking?
Can I be looking out for spirits who might be noticing us?
Yeah, and there are some that absolutely... Actually, I take it back. Ivan, did you buy your invisibility so that it's also invisible to magic as well?
Yes.
Did you
Yeah, it's invisible to everything.
everything. Yeah, okay. All right,
That's a
then.
good one.
So with Masu doing look out in the astral, you guys just kind of fall in line with a long line of people that are just scouting the place. You're overhearing people talking about it. Apparently, they've got numerous threats. Numerous. And so they're just, they've been here for hours. You're hearing about some of the protocols that they've done, but you end up just following them in. So you're, again, this is a stadium where various sports are played. The pitch right now is just set up to be, it's AstroTurf basically, with no particular grid set up for anything. It's just teaming with people that are checking everything, the electronics, the lights. You see where the big air handling systems are. No one seems to be particularly concerned. They haven't found anything other than the whole place isn't up to code. You hear a lot of people making snide remarks about that.
Okay. There's got to be a boiler room or something like that.
You want to look for the central control room? Okay,
Yes.
yeah. It's just an outbuilding. You hear some people talking about it. The door's open because that was one of the first things they checked. So you guys walk in. It's a big computer control system. They have a building rigger who is not on site currently. So yeah, you walk in, big bank of computers that controls everything.
Kaylee, do some magic over here.
Very well. Yeah, I'm going to try to get into their system. Ooh,
Okay.
boy, this should be fun.
Yeah. You don't need a roll. It's actually not protected.
What? Oh, baby. I'm
But-
infecting this thing so badly.
But it also has no outside connection. It's air gapped. So it only affects the stadium itself, and there's no way to access it from outside the stadium. So all in all, not bad security as far as that goes. You got to be on site to do anything.
Well, in that case, I'm just going to copy as much payroll data as I can to my deck.
There is none. There is none. The only
Oh.
thing in the system are basically your air handlers, the lights, and the security doors. That basically that's it. There's nothing else in the system.
Does it have like a schedule for operations, like
Yes.
when to lock the doors?
Yeah, everything's automated. Of course, everything's been overridden right now, so the lights are on, etc. But yeah, it has a scheduling system.
Does it have like a? Okay, I assume that it's got like at X hour close and lock
Yep.
all the doors.
Yep.
At X hour unlock
Mhm.
open all the doors. Does it have something like that for a completely arbitrary time of day, like 3:47 p.m.?
You
Or
can
just
set it for
something
anything
like
you
that?
want, and you notice in the queue, there's already been a setup for the next night for Vogel's speech. Like there's a particular light pattern that's supposed to be going on because the lights have color, have gels that can be done different colors, etc. When the gate should be opened, so it's all pre-programmed in there. So there's a big chunk of code for Vogel's address. It's all actually the other thing it has is the microphone and speaker system is in there too. So like it's already set with EQs that Vogel has requested.
All right. Anything sticking out that looks like it wouldn't be? Basically, what I'm looking for is, does the building have a very strange time when it would be allowing access to a particular locale outside of a schedule aligned with the
Right.
speed?
I tell you what, go ahead and make me that programming roll for that to go through seeing if anything's been altered or if anything just kind of stands out to you as you're going through the data. Now, while Kaylee's jacked in, what are the rest of you guys doing?
Ganto will probably just be keeping an eye out because we're getting a control room. So Ganto will probably just be just like a standard eye, like for any patrols, maintenance, stuff like that, like just to make sure no one's coming, so I can alert.
Okay,
Okay,
there are a
so
lot of
scout.
people passing you by, but
Mhm.
this control box was the 1st
Mhm.
thing they looked at. So no one's been coming by. There's lots of people passing by, though. Something does set you off a little bit. They're bringing dogs by, which might be able to detect you.
True.
They're not close right now, but there are dogs being deployed.
And this is likely something you would know is that our invisibility is, if they're 1 hex away, they can see us. So, it's got some weaknesses. So if they get close enough, they're going to see through.
Your invisibility has weaknesses. Mine does not. It is perfect.
No, it's written into the invisibility thing.
We ignore those things when we don't like them.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Like, good advice, the law, that sort of thing.
Yes.
So Ivan, yeah, you're sweating,
Common
just
sense.
basically keeping up your
Yeah.
force field going, your invisibility going. But if there's something else you want to do,
I want to pull out some dog treats that I keep in my pockets for good scout.
yeah.
And I want to just kind of toss them out into the field scattered around.
Ooh, okay, smart. So yeah, when they do come close, the dogs pick up scent, and you see the trainer that's with him get on his radio. It's like, hey, we might have something, and the dogs go off to where you threw the treats. After a little bit, it's like, psh, cancel that. Looks like somebody left some food around.
There we go. So, Kaylee, do you see anything good, or do you see any way to destroy this place entirely from that terminal?
How'd you do on your roll?
I matched a 13.
Okay, looks perfectly reasonable. Looks like Mr. Vogel, his voice might be in the higher register a bit because his EQs are made to make him sound a little bit more bassy and and to cut down on the high frequencies a bit. But otherwise, everything looks pretty normal. There's not like any particular like odd occurrence that's supposed to happen during it at all. It all looks pretty good. You can also tell the bit of code that was inserted for Vogel's speech was inserted almost a week ago, and it hasn't been touched or altered, as far as you can tell.
Well, then I'll actually take a look at that to see if there's anything interesting as far as things that stand out.
Just that Vogel probably has a naturally high squeaky voice, and the EQs are set to to modify.
Add a little bit of bass to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, and he likes pastels. His color choices for the lights are in the pastel range.
I'm gonna install a bunch of music on the system that are basically serve as influences to. No, Scout, I need you for a moment. Please come here.
Right away. Yeah, jog
Scout's
on
been
over.
waiting for those words.
May I see your pan, please?
Oh, I gave it to you earlier today because the battery died. Were you able to charge it?
Oh, thank you. Yes, and I'll plug Scout's pan into the computer system.
Oh no! Oh no! I tell you what, just roll me 3d6.
So what can I do for you?
Oh gosh. Okay. You're pretty sure the system's infected.
All right, good. I'll start altering all the times, all the schedules for everything to make them all wonky as hell, and then just allow.
Including like right now or just future dates?
Future dates. Like starting tomorrow, the doors will lock in 12.5-minute intervals, just randomly popping open and closed.
Now, keep in mind, as I was saying, though, that there is no security on the system. So once someone notices this, it's not going to be a big deal for them just to come in and change everything back. Because there's no way to stop that. There is no security system on it.
Dang. Well, it'll be fun at any rate.
Yeah.
I'll hand the pan back. It's charged now. Have fun.
Is that all you needed?
Yes.
Suddenly, over the
sure?
loudspeakers, one of the ads at Frequent Scouts Pan comes up. Are you feeling inadequate? Has your last significant other left you for someone better?
How did you know?
Defy the confines of gravity and relive a simpler time with your friends and family and coworkers thanks to Bizco's 12-person portable seesaw. Hitch up the 12-person portable seesaw to your truck or RV, and you can liven up any outdoor get-together with hydraulic, childlike whimsy.
It
for
is
a truly old-fashioned, even medieval playtime experience, try upgrading to Bizco's brand new deluxe model 12-person portable seesaw, complete with never-before-seen catapult mode.
It's an endless stream of ads.
Yeah.
Just one after another. Do not poke Happy Funball. Do not taunt
Yes.
Happy Funball.
No,
So-
you definitely deserve a chip for that one. If I can give you one. That was great.
All right. So again, Ivan, you're straining it. So technically, the rules what you'll be doing is you're resting every little bit so that you're getting your endurance back and not depleting yourself.
Okay.
So you can keep this up, but doing more on top of it might start really hitting your endurance reserves.
Sure.
So far, everyone just kind of very lackadaisical about it. No one's found anything that's really setting anything off, and so you're hearing people talking around you. It's like, yeah, it's a big waste of time. Vogel's not going to win this thing anyway. Ain't no one's going to vote for a halfer. That might set Gontu off. That's a slur for dwarves. A halfer.
Yeah, I heard worse though, I suppose.
Might as well have just called you a halfling, for God's sake.
I know.
yeah, like those things exist. Man, if they did.
Yeah, they got wiped out, 2,500 years ago? Yeah.
Something like that, but deservedly so, like dinosaurs or something.
I remember the old stories.
Yeah.
So, guys, it doesn't look like Riv has done anything here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if there's nothing here yet, it just means that they're going to bring it with them, which just means we got to keep people from coming here.
Yeah.
Let's Start
So
some
with the
fires.
ads going on, there are some people approaching the building now, trying to see what's going on with the system.
Hey, let's make like tree and go somewhere else in here.
Yeah. I mean, like we were in a control room, but like Ivan initially asked about like a boiler room. Is there like some sort of room for, because
Mechanical.
they had mentioned air systems, water
Yep.
systems. That's what
Yeah,
the
there's a
Ivan
pretty
mentioned.
substantial air handling system. Now the stadium itself is mostly open air, so like looking around, like the air system only is going to go into like the private boxes. So they're only the private boxes are going to have any kind of environmental control. But you do notice that the fire suppression system runs through the whole stadium.
Okay. And can we find like where that's like, can we find where it's localized? Like, is there like if when Kelly was in the system, do we have any kind of like schematic for this place now? Do we know?
Yeah, again,
Where
it
everything
contained
is?
almost no data at all. The thing was just like just control. But just looking around, there's a couple of these like squat cement buildings around, and so I mean, you just go from one to the next till you find one that has a stairwell going down. It also has been tagged. The doors are wide open. And it's been tagged that it's been searched already. So as you go down to the depths of this thing, it's several layers underneath. You do find.
So at this point in time, I'm going to stop the group and I'm going to go. None of us are finding the fact that every door that we come across is wide open is suspicious.
No, this is standard government work. Did you expect them to be? I mean, yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine. Let's go downstairs and find
Okay.
something to destroy.
Oh, yes. No, that's perfectly reasonable. That every door that we come across is wide open. Yep.
So what it is, it's just a big tank of the fire suppression foam, and then basically a big machinery that will just high pressurize it through all the piping system. Very simple devices, and you do see that there's like a log panel there that they're leaving notes for each other. And someone had written down like, "This is the most archaic thing I've ever seen. I bet it doesn't even work." Someone else checks out. No, it'll work once. Let's hope there's not more than one fire.
Oh,
You know, worst case scenario, we can just trigger it now. So
that's
they can't
exactly
move
what.
forward without it.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Wait.
Do you know any other words? Like whenever we throw out a plan, can you just like get on board once with like one of the things we do, man? It's a team. It's team.
So
yeah, I'm gonna go activate it.
So can we wait to activate it until do a delayed activation till we're gone? So that way they're not gonna come right for us.
Ivan is turning on the manual pump for the fluid. He's looking for a big red go button somewhere. Yeah, so it's automated. You're gonna have to start a fire somewhere to get it going. Like, there's not just a button to turn it on.
Oh.
The sensors are everywhere. You just need to put a fire near one of the sensors.
Oh, the GM saves us from our own foolishness.
I'm going to head back up the stairs then.
Mm-hmm.
Look
Starting
around
fires
for
is
one of the
Ivan's specialty.
sensors.
Exactly.
Fireball.
Okay.
Just
Well,
fireball everything.
Two things are going to happen. I don't need you to roll for that. But fireball, even if you chose to use the lowest number of dice you can, is going to blow up the sensor, which will trip the system. It will actually trip the system. So all around you, you hear the agents that are on the ground that are sweeping the place as the foam starts just pouring everywhere because you've kind of overloaded it. The system no longer knows where the fire is, so it's dumping it in all the environments. People are yelling. You hear people saying, "It's building 9, building 9!" And there's a mass of people moving towards you.
Okay, we've got to go now.
The second thing is, invisible or not, you're all covered in fire suppressing foam, so you are quite visible.
How deep is this foam? Is it like a bubble party?
So typically what this foam is, it's kind of like a yellowish stuff, and it's almost a talcum powder kind of stuff. That, and once it gets on you, oh my god, it's hard to get off.
He is describing it well, actually. Yes.
Yeah.
So like, it's not like it's setting everything off or setting everything up. It is like a dry powder that's just coating everything. A little sticky.
Yeah, not real good for you to breathe in. Fortunately, the damage is mostly long term, so
Right.
none of us will feel it.
So that is the second thing that happens as you see everyone running towards your location. You guys are very visible now with all this powder adhering to your outside. What do you do?
So, got a question for Ivan here. When invisibility is cast, it's like it gets our clothes and stuff invisible, right? And this stuff's sticking to us. Why can't you just recast invisibility? Now the stuff that's stuck on top of us goes invisible too. Damn, I should have been a mage.
As long as you get out of nozzle fire, sure. But as it keeps coating you, that's an issue.
Yeah. There you go, Ivan. I throw out an idea. You tell me. You tell me.
Counterpoint: we could go over there to the corner, and I could make us look like a potted plant.
I think
Masu, I don't know if you
you're
know
muted,
this, but you're
Ivan.
not very leafy.
Oh, I pushed the wrong button. I'm sorry. I was saying, Gantu, that is a genius idea. And then let us just run, and we'll shoot some covering fire at the people chasing us. And then once we're
no.
out of the nozzle fire, invisible, and away we go.
Okay, you guys start running. And of course, you are seen, so you're going to do cover fire. Okay, so how do I want to do this? Okay, here's what I'm going to do. First of all, Ivan, high or low, and make me a luck check.
We're going to go high because all of my ideas are way up there high on the IQ ratio.
I mean, they are definitely
54.
room temperature.
Okay. You're lucky in the fact that the few battle mages that are available are not directly near you. So when you start hurling fireballs out to dissuade people from following you, they're not unschooled in how to handle mages, but they also know that they're outgunned. So they start covering. If you want to drop your invisibility after you are clear, and again, the guy wasn't wrong. It dumps that entire tank of fire suppressant, and then it's done its wad. It's done. So, if you want to do your invisibility again, let me make a little roll here.
Yeah, can I ask really
Go ahead.
quick?
Yeah.
So the fire suppressant, did it drop like everywhere? Fire suppressant can be dropped?
Everywhere. Yeah.
So it's covering them too, then.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
The problem that we're going to run into is that it's going to be on the ground, so we're going to be making prints as we go by.
Okay. Make your magic roll, Ivan.
Hey. There it is. My number is a 16, so if I'm rolling under, I succeed.
Okay. All right. No mages in direct sight. You do go invisible. There are areas where you're having to step in the foam again, which is not immediately obvious to folks. I rolled. They did not roll well for what I needed there.
Bart,
Yeah.
what I would like to do is I would like to cast images, and they have the persistent tag. And basically, I want to cast it as a group of us who look remarkably like us, but not trademark like us, if you understand. And that they are fleeing inward to the building and whatnot. So that way,
I believe there's a versus on that.
I will look that up real quick.
I think that's an ego check, isn't it?
I believe so as well. I believe you are correct. It is image attacks at range using ego for attack damage. Blah 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 blah. Yes. So it's just an ego roll for me. So let me cast the spell. See if it goes. Nope. It's gonna fail. Huzzah!
Yep.
Good for me.
And that's going to step you back like just a beat as you're trying to do that. Right. The rest of you, where are you heading?
I'm following our fearless leader with the peg leg.
Towards the van?
Okay,
Yeah,
so you're heading
Gantu's
out.
going back. Yeah, we're getting the hell out of here if we can.
Okay. All right, Masu.
Yes.
Okay, Nick, give me a D100 roll and
Sure.
just say high or low.
Hi. Good for me.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, because you were trying to cast, and that did take a little bit of concentration, you're a little bit behind them as they're running out to the vehicle. As you're running out to the vehicle, there are a couple of tactical mages that are checking out your car. They are, they're looking around it. As you guys come out, let me make a check here. Where's my character sheet? There it is. Okay. They have some spirits. Basically they're spirits of man, guardian spirits they're checking out your car. They're around you. The spirits key in on you.
Yep.
There's 2 of these battle mages here. Each of them has an elemental under their control. The elementals notice you. The mages don't, because your invisibility is holding. But one of them does just kind of yell out. It's like, if one of you is the owner of this van, might we speak to you for a moment, please? I'm going to pause with you guys for a moment. Masu, there's a hail of gunfire coming down on you.
That's what I got. Force field persistent.
Right.
Yep.
And they don't have your exact location. They're just kind of spraying the area they last saw the footprints heading. You've got your force field up, right?
Okay. Oh yeah, no, that was the very first thing I did. It gives me 8 points of hard armor.
Mm-hmm. All right, so unfortunately, these are not slouches. I mean, these are people that are insured with the protection of presidential hopefuls.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Mm.
What's your defensive capability? I'm pretty sure that's going to hit you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You'd have. Yep. Okay.
Most certainly will hit.
Yeah. Okay. It's not horrible. Okay, so the it's 18 points of damage, which your shield can absorb.
Mm-hmm.
2 body, which your shield can absorb.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that depends. Is your shield resistant?
Yes. Yes.
It is. Okay.
Yes, I have. So I have a defense of 10, and then plus.
Okay.
Plus.
So does any of that get through?
No.
None of that gets through. Okay.
No.
What is your reaction then?
And
again, you could tell that they don't know that they're shooting exactly at you. They're just spraying the ground where you and your friends were.
I am going to cast concealment on myself, and then I'm going to run.
All right. So you're already invisible. You know that you are, but you can't see yourself. Do you still want to take the time to cast concealment?
No, I'll just run.
Okay.
Just run.
Right. So outside the van. So you can tell. Actually, Kaylee can tell because Kaylee can astral sense all the time. The 2 spirits know you're there. They're basically like pointer dogs. They're like, they're informing their minders that there's something there. They don't look too surprised about it. And as I said, one of them says, "If the owner of this vehicle is there, would you kindly speak with us for a moment, please?"
I'll put a hand on Gantu's shoulder and say, "There are ghosts here who would like to talk to you." And I'll gesture.
Well, all of you
towards
hear
the
it.
man.
It's the 2 mages
okay.
that are saying that. You guys don't see the spirits, but you see the mages. Kaylee sees the two spirits.
Sure. Yeah, that'd be me. What can I do for you? If you don't mind, is there something wrong?
So he looks over at all of the alarms going off and everything. Might be. Can we have a private conversation, please?
Private, as in,
Get in your van.
you want me to get in the van?
Yeah.
Okay.
Open the door.
Yeah. All right. Sure. Open the door. Door's open.
Okay. He closes the door then. Are you still invisible, Ivan? Are you going to still maintain it?
I mean, the jig is up. They know we're here. I might as well drop it and spare myself a little bit of endurance.
Okay. So you guys are caked in the fire suppression foam.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I expected. Yeah. You guys are runners. Is somebody paying you to do something?
Something like that. That's true. Yeah, you got us. That's for sure.
No, it's all right. It's all right. Look,
Yeah.
there's been a whole bunch of nut jobs calling, saying that they're planning bombs, they're trying to get this whole thing canceled, etc. Got an interesting thing came across our desk though. You guys, he plays back a few conversations, right? So the first few aren't Dr. Conley. One of them though, towards the end is. It's like, are you associated with any of these?
Yeah, that fellow there at the end right there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Masu has now arrived after Ivan has dropped the invisibility, becomes suddenly visible.
We need to leave. We need to leave now.
Oh, there's a conversation happening in the van, right?
There are people who are chasing us with guns, and they know which way I've run.
I see. And Kaylee will start scooting underneath the van.
Yes. I'm going to open the door of the van. And
it's locked, I'm pretty sure. Private conversation.
It's private, yeah.
I will be beating on the side.
One second, please. Just one second. Wind the window down. Hey, stop it. Okay? No, shh. Hey. Adults are talking now, okay? Now just sit down, be quiet. They ain't gonna shoot you. And if there's other mages out there, and I'll just be like, hey, could you just make sure those fellas with guns don't shoot this one over here? We're doing business inside, and then I will roll the window back up.
So who are you hired by? This guy trying to tell us there's gonna be some kind of poison released into the crowd?
Yeah, listen, I'm just going to cut it with you straight. You got us. Okay. Good job on y'all. But that is about accurate. Say, within the past 24, 36, actually been about 48 hours at this point, my team came in contact with a substance, okay, that infectious agent. And it's deadly. Absolutely deadly. This Mr. I'm not even sure he's a doctor here. I think a doctor, Conley. He worked with us there to make sure we got some kind of effective counter agent, but we had it on good intel that someone was kind of come here and was going to take out, your candidate fellow there and everyone else that was in the speech. And so we were just trying to do, the righteous thing, which was just to ensure safety of everyone, but just causing a little bit of ruckus to get that event canceled. That's all. You know how it is. Trying to do the right thing.
So you were hired to get the event canceled?
Yeah, something like that.
That would suit us too.
Perfect.
Play along with me.
Okay. I'm a yes-ander all the way. Let's do it.
He gets out of the car and he discusses for a moment with his friends. The horde of people with guns are coming out. And they both one of them kind of whispers to you guys, hey, hands behind your head, get down on your knees. He's whispering this. It's like, okay, you guys got it? We good?
Boys,
good?
They got us. They got us, everybody.
The other one goes, it's like, hey, we've got a real threat here. Terrorist group. They're trying to get something installed in the grounds. I think we're going to have to go ahead and sweep the whole thing again. Everyone's like, damn it, we've been here all night. It's like, well, And them's the breaks. I mean, we got a significant known threat here. There were with Terra First, something like that. Yeah, I mean, I think, I mean, I don't know if it's safe for Mr. Vogel to come here. Why don't you get a hold of his people? Let them know that we've got a real threat. We've got a verified threat, and we're going to take these people down to the holding cells.
Damn right. You're damn right we're a threat. Hell yeah, we are. We're going to take that boy out, we are.
So they seem to have some sway with the rest of the guards that are here. And they're like, we'll get a hold of his people, but you know how he's been on this. He's been really bullish on this. He's said that this is going to happen no matter what. Says if the place gets nuked, he's gonna give a speech on the ashes of the city. I mean, I don't know. Look, hey, this is verified. We're going to take him. We're going to interrogate him. We're going to find out what's going on. But you just let his people know that. And he looks through his notes, and he's taking this. You can tell from what the doctor told him. Somebody named Rivkin, associated with Terra First. He's got a bone to pick. You make sure he hears this, and that this is an actual threat. Why don't you get a few of your guys to follow us down to closest precinct? We're going to need an interrogation chamber.
Ain't no interrogation.
Yeah, and so like, yeah,
nothing out of me.
Yeah, they treat you. You know, they cuff you. They get a wagon over, and they start. You know, they mishandle you a bit as they throw you in. One of the mages says, "Look, we're going to take you down to the station. We are going to interrogate you. All right. We will flub the booking. Don't worry about that. It's in our best interest that this doesn't happen either. We can save some people." Yeah.
So we're getting arrested, but not really arrested.
Well, no, you're really going to get arrested, but you won't hit the records.
I mean, worse has happened. Okay. And if we get the job done, okay.
Yeah. We're big heroes, we are. That's right. You know, sometimes you got to sacrifice for the good of the people.
Okay. So you guys are taken to the local police station. You are interrogated. You are booked. If this guy isn't lying, that information will get lost. But they do have police interrogators coming in. What kind of line are you feeding them?
Like in terms, like of what is it? Are the interrogators the same guy,
Nope.
same people like that stopped us? Somebody else?
It's somebody else doing the interrogation.
Okay. And do we know what they kind of booked, what they were going to book us on, or anything like that?
Oh yeah, terrorism. That's okay. You're being held until essentially the feds come. They're not really feds in this world, but you get the idea.
Okay. Probably just something along the lines of like, man, we don't want to hear nothing what that fella has to say. We weren't going to hurt him. Well, we just shut his mouth up. He just talks too much. We're just going to shut him down. He can't talk if that place is shut down.
Sensing weakness, they pull Masu and Scout aside for individual interrogations.
Yeah, the mix. Okay. For Scout.
I would try to be buddy with them. Oh yeah, you got the navy blue uniforms. When I was a cop, we had that baby blue. It was
you were a cop.
It made me look like a giant blueberry.
What's your your ID?
I'll give him my ID because apparently I was cleared.
Well, that's a bad idea. Okay.
Hey, you're the guy that murdered those people.
No. I was clear of that. Yeah, I was cleared. It was a big misunderstanding.
All right, Masu, what do you do? You're under the interrogation lights. What do you say?
Is he muted?
That's what he says. He says nothing.
I jokingly said, "Do you smell bacon, pig?"
Oh no!
Masu is not nearly that disrespectful. He will he will say, yes, I was here on the orders of Lord Gantu, and he had said that we must fight the evil power of and stop the speech, yet not hurt anyone. Yes, definitely no casualties. Lord Gantu cares about people's lives.
Well, they totally buy everything the Scout says because Scout is actually being 100% truthful.
Yes.
Yeah, they're not so sure about Masu or anything else.
Oh yeah, no.
They hold you until the morning.
Yeah, it's very.
And then finally, after you guys are kind of feeling like you might actually go through the whole system here, you might actually be shackled up and disappeared.
Yep.
One of those Night Errant folks show back up. Hey, he comes in, he looks around, he turns to the police behind me. I've got this. A little privacy. Yeah. You see a cred stick change hands. You guys are all in the same cell now. And he looks around, he puts down a device on the table. You've seen these before. The scramblers, just in case somebody's listening. Hey, look, this didn't pan out. Vogel's people are insistent that it doesn't matter what's going to be tried during his speech. They're going to do the speech. He's not backing down. We tried to get him to do it remotely. He said that unless it's in person, the people think that he's faking it, that he's not committed.
He sounds like the good leader for the US of CA. Very, very much in line with the citizens on just being absolutely moronic.
Well, yeah, he's popular among some folk, but look, I've got a bigger problem.
Is that a Titus joke?
Are being charged to provide some protection to this. I'm sure you've read the news briefings. Yes, our CEO is himself a hopeful. It doesn't change the fact that when you're looking for magical security, it's us. It's us who you're coming to. And this will look bad if something happens. It's going to look very bad.
Listen here, friend. I think we can work with each other here because I just so happen to have an extensive professional history in private security, and as you know, we do have a very exceptional law enforcement, former law enforcement representative on our squad, and plus, you saw what we can do. So maybe you and us kind of work together here, and maybe we kind of ad hoc security team, kind of put us in the game, coach. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You're going to be new hires. Report for duty in 8 hours. Welcome to the team.
Did we just
Yes,
get
sir.
hired? Do we have the job? We didn't even talk about salary or benefits.
This is what Ganto does. He gets jobs, legit payment, health
That's
insurance,
true.
right?
Yeah.
Scout's
Yes.
not feeling too well.
What's the deductible?
And basically, they just kind of let you guys out the back door. He's
Good. Yes.
kind of paid off the police here to just look the other way. As you guys are leaving, you see some of the black unmarked vehicles coming in to pick up their quarry, who have mysteriously been lost in the system. And that's how we'll end it. You're going to be joining Night Errant for security for Vogel's speech tomorrow. And hopefully, stop a mass killing and vector event.
Okay.
Or you'll just burn the whole place down, keeping anything from spreading. Meh.
That's
Potato,
plan B.
potato.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll end it there, guys. We're a little over anyway. What's the Defenders got going on this week?
Yeah. So despite the fact that my video is frozen, it won't be on Wednesday when you come to check out some more Thunder Riff. We're using the Fantasy Age setting, and it's wild. Thursday, we're kicking off a new campaign with the Watercolors and Warriors crew called Through the Hedgerows using Tales from the Loop. Friday, we should be hopefully wrapping our Anvia campaign, which is a system that Joe's making. And then Saturday's a double header at 1 p.m. Central over on Grim and Perilous Plays. We'll be doing some Fallout 2D20, and I'll let you talk about what's happening Saturday night, Bert.
Sounds good. Jeff, what's the Lollygaggers got going on this week?
Yeah, nothing tomorrow. So no holler tomorrow as it's 4th of July here in the U.S. But Friday we'll be back for Mothership as we are continuing our Gradient Descent campaign. Saturday we're doing One Ring 2nd Edition. And you should check the YouTube out for Adventures in Lollygagging as we just started up a Hunter the Reckoning Chronicle. And so that's going up tomorrow.
Good watch. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
stuff.
I'm really looking forward to playing more of that. So the first play video will be up on our YouTube channel tomorrow.
Sounds good. Scout, do you got anything going on? You're done with your haunted house tale, right? That's over?
Yep. Darkest House is over on Defenders of Kobold YouTube. And I've been playing with Lollygaggers a bit, whatever they got going on, and Grim and Perilous bi-weekly for Heart.
Mm-hmm. And Jake is a de facto defender. So I don't
Yes.
believe he's got anything extra going on. Nick is an internet mystery.
Yes, I do
Yes.
not. My face is not.
Does
a
not
book.
exist. He's actually an AI.
Yes.
And so that explains so much.
Yes, that's why.
We are streaming this Tuesday, first edition Dungeons and Dragons. We are starting the third in the series, the Desert of Desolation series, as the crew has finished up on the middle module last week. This Friday should be some basic Dungeons and Dragons, BX, playing in the Mystara setting. We have this Saturday on the official Goodman Games channel. I am winning Weird Frontiers, the DCC horror Western game for several of the folks that are here tonight with us. Well, not several, I guess. Two of the folks here. And this Sunday, probably try some Boot Hills, see how that goes on. We've also started on my alternate Saturdays a Cyberpunk Red game that is quite fun, so check that out. Not this Saturday, but next. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for playing. Anyone that's stuck it out this long, thank you very much for watching. See you next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Later.